I didn't almost give up. I gave up. Before I even jump into like why I gave up and all that, let me just clarify something quick. I wasn't like some Richard Simmons success story. You know, I wasn't some 350-pound guy and got all the way down to 160 pounds and it's like magnificent and all that. That's not what happened. So when you see me in videos and I'm talking about like when I was a fat ass, like I guess fat is different to everyone, right? When you live your whole life at 160 pounds, 170 pounds, pretty flat stomach, you know, decent muscle tone for zero reason, and then you get up to 205 pounds and you have this gut you've never seen before, and you have this flab hanging off of your arms and everywhere else, like that was fat to me. And I didn't do what I did to look great naked or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just like all vanity. Everything started because of health. So I'm going to tell you what I mean. So I'm 29. I lose my best friend in a motorcycle accident, one of my best friends. 8 months later, I lose my brother to a massive heart attack, who I was very close with. It fucks you up psychologically, right? And on top of that, I'm already somebody who like suppresses like any kind of feelings he has. Not because I'm fucking macho and I'm manly and I'm this and I'm that. It's just who I am, right? Some people wear their heart on their sleeve. I don't. I'm more of the just keep to myself. Keep your issues are your issues. I'm a firm believer in like work your own shit out. Whether that's healthy or not, that's not for me to say. If you need therapy and you need your best friend to sit and talk with you, like, that's cool too. Go that route. You know, I have a best friend too that if shit gets like too much for me, I'll call him, or we'll text, or we'll meet up, or whatever. Or my wife. You know, I've been with my wife 21 years. There isn't much that I can't just kind of sit and say to her. Not that I do, which is its own issue, right? But I was just never that guy. So what do? I suppress all that shit, which isn't healthy. So fast forward another year, now I'm 30. It happens to me, right? Luckily, my wife's a nurse. Immediately sees the symptoms I'm having. We go to the doctor. Sure enough, I have a 96% blockage, right? I get a stent put in. Now, my mind psychologically, mentally, this is what I'm thinking. It's over for me. It's over for me. My mom got her chest cracked open at a super young age. Now my brother ends up literally dropping dead of a heart attack at 38. And now me. Okay? So I start to give up at that point. You know, I even tell my doctor, like, it's it for me. Like, I'm not going to even see 40. Fast forward another year, Vinny, at the time, at 34, ends up having fucking heart attacks left and right and strokes, and he ends up getting his chest cracked open. He has 3 blockages. So now I'm really giving up, right? Now I'm looking at it like, Jesus Christ, if Superman, you know, because in Vinny, in my eyes, is like Superman. You know what I mean? The guy is, if you knew Vinny when we were kids, he was a short, pudgy kid. He always was the short, pudgy kid who could eat endless amounts of everything. That's who he was. That was his thing. But even as a kid, Vin was like fascinated and obsessed with like bodybuilding and the strongest men in the world, and he was always strong. Vin was. At a younger age, probably 18, 19, that's when Vin like started taking it real serious and got in like amazing shape, right? And his journey started from like 19 to where he's at now. That's why he's been training for 20 some years. Anywho, so in my eyes, it's like, if it can get him, I'm dead. 100% dead. So I really give up. I'm eating whatever the fuck I want. I'm smoking 2 packs a day. I'm I'm doing zero active stuff. Like, even my doctor is telling me, like, well, how come you don't go and, like, play basketball anymore? And I was scared to. My whole thing was, like, I'm going to go play basketball and then I'm going to drop dead on the court. That was my mindset. So I didn't. I didn't go and play basketball. I didn't go for walks. I didn't do anything. I would go to work. I would come home. I would eat junk. I would watch TV. Rinse and repeat. So in doing that, what's going to happen to you? You're going to end up not gaining at some people gain at a rapid rate. I didn't gain at a rapid rate, but 1 pound a month. 1 pound a month is a rapid rate. I know it doesn't sound like it. I know you can get on the scale in January and you're like, okay, I'm 200 pounds. And then you can get on the scale in February and you're like, okay, 201. I'll take it. Then you get on the scale in March, 202. I'm right in range. I'm good. Think about that long term. Think about that long term. If you gained a pound a month, that doesn't sound like anything. That's 12 pounds a year. But now fast forward 5 years at that rate. You just put on 60 pounds. You went from 200 to 260. Massive difference. Fast forward another 5 years. You put on another 60 pounds. So in a decade, which goes by like that, you went from 200 pounds to 320 pounds. That's how fast that can happen. At a pound a month. At a pound a month. So that's what was happening to me. So I get to, I don't know, 36, I think I was. And I was 205 pounds. And on top of the 205 pounds, because of my extremely poor eating habit, because of my extreme lack of movement and exercise or anything, my numbers were horrible. Like the worst they've ever been. And you got to remember, I'm on all kinds of meds. You know, I'm on the highest blood pressure medication you could be on, cholesterol medication you could be on. I'm on all that shit. So with all being on all that, for my numbers to still be through the roof and astronomical numbers, not a good mixture. So I go to the doctor, I do a checkup, and I do blood work. And even at the checkup, he's like, you're too heavy. You're 205. You've never been this big. You're gradually going up each time I see you. You know, every half a year I got to see him, 2-3 times a year. Every time I see you, your weight's going up. So I take that for what it is. I'm like, whatever. Because, again, in my mind, yeah, this is 6-7 years removed from losing my brother. But, like, I was heartbroken. I still am. So, that going on, paired with my own shit going on, thinking I'm going to die, and, like, thinking me and Vin are both just dead, praying it didn't hit, like, all the girls in the family, like my sisters, and here it did end up hitting my other brother, Mike. He ends up having a bunch of mini strokes and, like, paralyzed his left side for a little while. So, like, as the brothers in the family, we're just counting our days at this point. So I go home. The next day I get a call from my doctor, and he tells me about my numbers. And he's like, not only are you 205, but your numbers are the worst that they've ever been since you've been coming here. And he basically just says to me, like, there's nothing more I can do for you. There's nothing more I can do for you. I have you on all of the highest meds you can be on. You're not listening. You're not taking anything serious. Like, it's on you now. That's basically how he put it to me. Now, me and my doctor, we speak really blunt to each other, which is how I like it, because I've had plenty of doctors in the past that are not like that. You know the routine. So yeah, we talk really, really blunt to each other, which is good. If there's one person who's going to be honest with you, it should be your fucking doctor. And be honest with your doctor. Don't go into your doctor and you're smoking 2 packs a day and you're bumping fucking cocaine on the weekends and you're drinking a case of beer and you're lying about all of that shit. That's probably not the guy you want to go in and lie to. I don't care what you're doing. You should probably fucking tell that guy. Because at the end of the day, when you need him most, he's going to need to know all the bullshit you're doing. So I wouldn't lie to him. I don't go in and I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to cut back on cigarettes. I wouldn't say that. I would go in and be like, I'm still a piece of shit. I'm still smoking 2 packs a day. I still love it. And he would just, he would bring my family history up all the time. And he'd be like, read this. He's like, anybody who would read your history wouldn't live the way you're living. But again, like in my head, I'm checked out. I get that phone call. He tells me basically he's out. Like he'll still be my doctor. He'll still do all of these checkups. But as far as any kind of help he can give me, I'm at the ceiling. So it's on me. So that scared me. Because now, you can go all those years thinking like I'm dead soon anyway. But it's like until it comes like face to face with you, and you're like, fuck. Like it's do or die in a sense. So now I'm sitting there, 36, 205. I got horrendous numbers. I'm like, okay, I got to make a change. What do? I start researching all this, weight loss and da-da-da. I'm talking to Vin. Vin's giving me a bunch of tips and shit like that. But Vin's giving me like weight training, and he's telling me, you should weight train, and I didn't listen to that. My whole mindset wasn't like put muscle on at this particular time. My whole mindset was like, how do I lose all this weight and regulate my numbers? Big mistake. So I start on this journey here where I was doing very, very little lifting, but cardio out the ass, right? I'm doing 5 miles a day on the bike. I'm walking around the whole neighborhood numerous times a day. I'm doing all kinds of fucking burpees and just like that HIIT type cardio, which I'm not against that. It'll work, sure it will. If you're doing fucking a set of 10 burpees and then you're just breaking for 15 seconds and you're jumping in and doing another set, and then you're breaking for 15 seconds and then you're jumping down into a plank for a minute, and then you're breaking for 15 seconds and then you're jumping into another plank, of course that's going to work. You're going to lose weight doing that. Here's where the problem comes in. I have a 6-month checkup, right? From the time he tells me you're fucked to the next time I'm going to see him. So I get there. My numbers are perfect, right? The best they've ever been. So I go from one visit to these are the worst numbers you've ever had since you've been a patient of mine to these are the best numbers you've ever had since you've been a patient of mine. So I'm at the doctor's. I'm 160 pounds, right? From 205. I lose any kind of mass that I had. I lose it all. So I'm 160 pounds and my numbers are great. And I feel pretty good. But I look like a bag of bones, right? Almost sickly. Like, when you see that guy and you can't tell if he's lost weight because he's been working out, or did he lose weight because he might have cancer. Do you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I looked. So I lose all of my mass, any kind of mass that I did have. Why did I lose all that? Because I didn't prioritize weight training. I didn't lift. I didn't do any of those things to tell your muscles, hey, we want to hold on to all this. That's literally how that works. You have to work your muscles and let them know that even when you're in a fat loss phase, your muscles are like, hey, we're all good. Like, don't take fat from us. Don't take any of this shit from us. He's using us. That's how that works. But I wasn't doing that. I wasn't sending any of those signals. So my body inside, like, your body's crazy. All right, your mind, your body is amazing. It's telling my body like we're in a rapid fucking weight loss. Take it from wherever, take it from everywhere, and it did. And I looked sickly. I was healthy, thank God, but I was fasting basically 24 hours. I would fast from 6 p.m. all the way until 6 p.m. the next day. I would eat one ginormous fucking meal. Well, it wasn't ginormous, but it kind of is. When you're at 1,100, 1,200 calories a day, that one meal, you can get it the fuck in. And I look forward to that meal every single day. And it worked. I don't have any bad thing to say about fasting or any of that. But what I will say is, like, you can't really prioritize muscle growth in fasting. You just can't, because you need protein. Protein is us normal people's steroid. It really, truly is. It's everything. It's everything. I wasn't prioritizing protein at all. Didn't fucking even care. I was eating greens. And I was eating chicken and steak here and there, but I was more focused on like calorie count and fat count and all that, and didn't care if I got protein at all. Even though I had Vin like in my ear, like, dude, you gotta get some protein in. I wasn't listening. In my mind, I'm seeing the scale go from 205 to 195 to 185 to 175 to 160 eventually. That being said, it's easy to lose focus and just throw in the towel and give up. But it's like at the end of the day, it's like evaluate everything you got, right? You got a wife, you got children, you got the rest of your family, you got all these people who may not out in front, depend on you, but enjoy you, right? Want you to be the best version of you. If you got good people around you, they want you to be the best version of you. Now, some people don't. Some people want you to be good, but not better than them. Those are the type of people. Distance yourself from them people, and you'll know those people. Eventually, those people will show themselves. They'll show their true colors, and you'll know, because everything you're trying to do, they'll fucking have a comment about it. If you have that guy in your life who you're telling, like, I'm gonna get into shape, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna better myself, and they're like, man, fuck that. Like, I'm just living. I don't need to do that shit. You know what I mean? Like, we all know that guy. We all come across that guy. Get that guy out of your life somehow. Maybe you don't have to get the guy completely out of your life, but tailor it back on being around that guy or that crowd or whatever, because that's not going to do anything for your mental health, for your physical well-being, none of that. A real friend, a real person in your corners, and be like, dude, that's great, you should do that, fucking why not, maybe I should do that too. Don't try and convince everyone either, like, you should work out. Now, you might have concerns. You might have friends that you're concerned about and you're worried about. I do. I'm sure there was friends that were concerned. I know there was friends that were concerned with my well-being when I was going through the whole heart thing and I'm living on cigarettes and cheeseburgers. I absolutely had close friends who gave a shit and would be like, dude, I wish you would do anything. Not necessarily work out, but I wish maybe you would stop smoking and, I don't know, wake the fuck up, right? You need those people. What I'm saying is distance yourself from the other ones who, you know them throughout your life. Any idea you had is, if it ain't their idea, it ain't a good idea. Get rid of those people. Moral of the story, start off by doing it for your health. Get your health in order, get everything right, and then you could worry about, like, where I'm at now, where, like, my health is good, I haven't smoked in almost 7 months. Now I'm working on, like, the aesthetics, right? I'm finally at a spot where I could, maybe if I want a six-pack, I can go and strive for that, or if I want to bulk up, I can do that. I'm at a comfortable spot now where it's like I can take this 80-20 that Vin was talking about. I could eat 80% clean, 20% garbage, and feel really good about that. That's important. It's important because when you're going and you're eating clean 100% because you're in whatever phase you're in, it's fucking hard. It's rough and it's hard and it sucks. I meal prep. I'm a huge believer in meal prep. I'm going to do another video on meal prep and why you should absolutely do it. But it's hard. It's still hard to get into your groove. Now, once you're a couple months into your groove, again, it's like anything else. It's just habit. It becomes habit. So find your own rhythm, right? But get on something to better yourself, feel better, and then you can start working on other goals. And it's fun and it's nice to be at a place where it's like, all right, maybe now I'll get a six-pack. I'll chisel up. I'll do whatever I want to do now because my numbers are... And you see Vinny just did a video. Like, get your ass to the doctor and get checked regularly. Or you get that at-home shit that he had up on the screen, which I didn't even know about, but I don't need to know about it. I'm at the doctor's constantly. I feel like I fucking live there. But, guys like me and Vin, who had the heart issue, we'll be at the doctor for the rest of our life every 3 to 6 months or whatever. Constantly getting blood work, constantly getting checked up on. So if you're not that guy and you don't, and say weight is your only issue, Go to the fucking doctor. Get checked out. Then hit it hard. Do what you got to do. And go back in 6 months and get checked out again. Then continue to keep hitting it hard. Go back in 6 months. Get checked out. And then eventually you're going to be at that spot where you're like, I can't believe I'm 235 pounds. I have decent muscle on right now, and my numbers are awesome, and I'm on an 80-20 split, and I never thought I would be here because I was on an 80-20 split in the wrong way before. And the whole eating clean thing, too. Maybe we'll do a video on that, too, because I know me and Vin constantly talk about, like, eating clean compared to not. There's misconceptions of that, too. I don't mean you have to eat rabbit food for the rest of your fucking life. That's not what clean even means. It's just not. You're trying to... Clean is like the least amount of processed bullshit as possible is good. You know, your chicken and your steak and your rice and your vegetables. And, like, if you're going to get vegetables, like, don't get, like, the huge... holy fuck bag of green beans that's like frozen and it's got 97 different things added into it as fillers and all this other bullshit. You don't need that. You can get like some real fresh. You can get like some real fresh green beans, and it takes literally 7 minutes with a tiny little bit of water. Steam the fucking things, and they taste way better. Like, do that, or at least turn the package around and fucking read what's in it, because it's right in front of you. It's right in front of you. You know, I did this in the RFK video. You don't need to change the food. You just need to turn it the fuck over and be like, oh, wow, this has 135 grams of fat, and it might make me a fat fuck overnight. Maybe I'm not going to go with that option. Maybe I'll just go with this chicken breast.